So we all see what's happening with the Epstein files being partially released very gradually. And it is a very sensitive issue. I have looked into some of the files. I do not want to consume myself in such a dark topic, but I am aware of the ritualistic practices occurring within that book. But I still do not believe in their God or in their deity. What I actually see is a bunch of psychopaths seeking to obtain power from another person by all means. If there is a way, they will find it. They are fucking energetic vampires. They are dead inside. If there's such a thing as a soul, them motherfuckers don't have it. Their vibration is low. They're sick, sadistic, empty fucking people, if you can call them that. And what do you even say when someone's being through sad abuse? Of course, they're going to believe in a higher power because they are being energetically drained in such a specific ritualistic way. The fear that they intentionally strike into you and the strength of them believing in their deity affects you, and it can feel powerful because they do have social, political, financial power over the masses. But they have yet to obtain immortality, so I don't believe in their God. Them doing these rituals and eating people, it's their fantasy of seeking more power over you than they already have. But they cannot quite achieve that. That's why they still grow old and fucking die. It can extend their life. There's a way for, those chemicals that induce fear, adrenochrome, that does keep you looking youthful a bit longer. But these people are going to rot in the ground just like the rest of us. And what's really been bothering me about this whole situation, I mean, a lot has been bothering me. It's hard to get into the details because it's just disgusting. But people still believe in Jesus after this. And it's just beyond me because them giving you Jesus is like throwing you a bone so you can shut the fuck up. You don't have real power in the name of Jesus other than the social power that you get from being a part of a cult that is widespread. You automatically have a support network and people willing to rally up behind you for a cause. Now, that's the only fucking power you get. Because ultimately, Jesus didn't do shit to fix this. And because these people following Jesus are lower in the hierarchy of power, they are given Jesus to not only just shut up, but it's a way to pacify you. There are so many people saying, this too shall pass. You know what? You're going to do all these practical things to prepare, but I believe in Jesus. And the shit's so stupid. You have other people sacrificing their readiness to compensate for your ill preparedness, and then you still give the credit to Jesus and not that other person. Like, Christians often make other people pick up the slack because they refuse to be prepared. They refuse to look at reality. They just want to have faith. And this fucking faith didn't stop those children from being murdered, raped, dilated, fucking eaten. Oh, and the fucking bastard said that, the newborn babies taste like cheesecake. Where the fuck is Jesus? Nowhere to be fucking seen. Nowhere to be seen. And then people are saying that ultimately these people just worship the what's it called? Hold on. It's called the demiurge, which is essentially the top of the hierarchy within this network of gods that people all worship. Like Abrahamic religions ultimately worship the demiurge, and the demiurge isn't the highest tier of god or whatever. It's a lesser god, but it's ruling us for some reason, and it's narcissistic and evil or whatever. I could get behind that. I mean, I have no reason to truly believe it, but the concept makes a lot of sense because ultimately these people are worshiping something really fucking evil. And it's a lot of these religions. All of them lead back to something evil. I can get behind that. So I've looked a lot into satanic ritual abuse. And the abuse itself is absolutely 100% real. You know, when you're in an abusive relationship with someone, it is like they drain your energy. They do siphon you. They are energized off of your suffering. And these sadistic psychopaths are naturally that way. And I feel like every time you witness such cruelty in this world, you can only think like, oh man, there must be a god or something the opposite of this. There has to be something to resolve this incomprehensible evil. And for other people, witnessing this and connecting it with the darkest sides of human nature shows that there is no God because this is allowed. I don't know. What do you think? I see a bunch of fucking losers who are intimidating the masses. They use these well-developed technology. They use frequencies. They use a lot of psychological tricks. These people have been researching how to control humanity for forever, and they're only getting more advanced. They have technology we have no access to. We are fucking screwed. And it's like, all of that seems spiritual. All of this seems like spiritual warfare. But when you remove the spiritual side of it and you acknowledge that these people are only fantasizing about having that spiritual power, you can see that these people are just fucking loser freak psychopaths. A lot of spiritual warfare is simply psychological warfare. It seems like they're siphoning you, and perhaps it's indirect, but it's more so that they gain power from seeing you weak and intimidating you, striking fear into you. That's what energizes them. It's not them directly pulling energy out of you. We give off frequencies. We have a heart that sends out electrical signals. We are electrical. Vibes are real. Intuition is real. And I think that that's all a part of human nature, animal nature. We're animals. And really smart ones. And the smarter we get, the crueler we become. The crueler humanity becomes. And we've been tricked into empathizing with psychopaths and narcissists, believing that we deserve to be beneath them. And they do this to our children. So when they give you Jesus, to me, that's very offensive because Jesus didn't do shit about this. Did he even mention anything about, children being victimized? Or does he just get behind whatever Yahweh says? People don't understand that Jesus is used because he is vastly ineffective. They give you Jesus because he's ineffective. Because you will remain passive and hope on the Lord to fix this shit for you, instead of removing your complacency with fucking violence and evil. This sort of mentality allows this shit to continue to happen. I don't even think that Jesus getting crucified was a good idea, because you're showing us that somebody has to fucking suffer instead of changing the system that allows for people to have to be sacrificed to begin with. The act of sacrificing someone to appease a psychopathic god in the sky was never a good thing. And even in the case of, dissociative identity disorder, because I ran across this article. No, it was an ebook. I didn't even search for it. It just showed up. I swear the government is just putting this shit in front of me for me to find. I swear to God, they can do that. Did you know that they can even reroute your navigation on Google Maps and send you to facilities if they want? And they've done it to people. They can control everything. Now, all of that is real. What did Jesus do to fix that too? But anyway, regardless of it, right? I was reading through this shit on how one obtains dissociative identity disorder. And I'm sure a lot of those kids, if they survived, and many of them didn't, from that island, ended up getting that. And they're forever fucked. Because there's a level of trauma that you cannot fucking come back from. Let's be real. From the shit we read, but this person on their own account, because they have the disorder, was talking about how you're turned away from Jesus. And that has to be a traumatizing experience, given that you believe that Jesus is a good figure. But they create this attachment with Jesus, or they do it to pacify you, but also they give you this hope that they will continuously fracture intentionally. Like, there are many different matrices to break out of when you are fragmented, and your different parts are going to represent what was done to you. Psychologically, if you believe that everyone's going to turn you away from Jesus and you associate Jesus with your hope because it's been outsourced, it's been removed from your body and placed onto Jesus as this central figure who is a figurehead that they're using to control the masses, including you, it's not going to be good. You cannot escape that matrix until you see things clearly for what they are. And how can you when you're so fractured and all you have to hold on to is this hope that is Jesus? So I don't judge anyone who's still a Christian and has been through this severe trauma. It is what it is, but everyone else needs to get it the fuck together. Because when you're fragmented, you have to reverse engineer the process in which you were already traumatized in order to escape those matrices and escape Satan if you have to. You may not find at the end of your escape that Satan is all that bad, but you have to reverse engineer. You have to do it. There's no way around it. So skipping over those traumas and just jumping into atheism is also ineffective. So people need to be treated separately for what they've been going through. That's why therapy is individualized. Okay? So in situations like this, what is measurable? We don't need to amplify the pain that is already there, understanding what has been done and what is continuing to be done by these people who have control over all of us. We have to abandon the constructs and the religions used to pacify us to begin with. Prayer and faith only work if it energizes you to do something. People need a way to centralize their energy. Their ability to do it on their own, or even with their own ancestral gods or their connections to the divine or whatever it may be, that's been inherent to you. And with these religions, they've outsourced it to the deity that rules that religion. Hence what I was talking about with Jesus and him being associated with hope. But shouldn't it be a part of you to begin with? If you were more connected with yourself, would you still behave the way that you do? We need not to sensationalize what we already know. We don't have to believe that they have this divine power. We can see it as an attempt, and we can analyze what kind of character and what corrupt systems are in place to allow this to happen to begin with. That is measurable. We don't have to fearmonger people. I'm very tired of the internet fearmongering everyone. You don't need unnecessary fear. Fear is a part of their way to control you. And if you believe that they have this divine power, you will surely be affected. That's how it works. It works because you believe that it will. And I'm talking psychologically, especially if you're not directly a part of it. They are playing tricks on people to get them to hand over their energy, hand over their collective efforts into dispersing and falling into fear. Most of their fight is psychological, and that's where we fucking lose. You are biochemically reacting because you've been trained psychologically to do so. So your body reacts and spills out those chemicals. Therefore, you have the same effects as if their magic is truly effective. So again, what is measurable? The physical abuse, the corrupt connections that they have, the financial exploitation, the extortion. We have to stick to those things so that we can actually use other practical ways to approach it. Looking at it through a spiritual lens will only drain the fuck out of you, and that's what it's intended to do. One thing that really upset me about these files is that allegedly they didn't hide the underage girls in it, and it's all over the internet, which are illegal images, something that you should not have on your computer. They redacted the names of so many powerful people, but they didn't protect those little girls, and that's the fucking system that we live in. It's filled with misogyny, pedophilia, and psychopaths rule us. And now it's becoming normalized further, as if it hasn't been already, for the average man to be into children. And now they're going to have all of this free material. All I'm saying is, these deities who are figureheads, who are being used to control you, who claim the throne in your kingdom of heaven that lives inside of you, or your queendom of heaven that lives inside of you, they are draining your fucking energy. And you may not even know it. You willingly gave your energy up because you were deceived. And that's how all of this trickery works. That's a part of this matrix. Jesus taught you about the kingdom of heaven that lives inside of you, and then figuratively about the actual physical heaven where his Father is. Jesus has been enmeshed with his narcissistic, psychopathic Father in heaven. So his kingdom of heaven that lives inside of him already has a leader. And it's not him anymore. He can't tell who is who at this point. And now he wants to do it to you. Now, wouldn't it mean that you'd be unable to be sovereign within your own kingdom or queendom? Shouldn't you be the ruler? And they've demonized you being the ruler. They've demonized you knowing any better. Doesn't all of this just look like a narcissistic hierarchy? It's literally what happens with a narcissist, their golden child, and so forth. It's just a cycle of abuse. It's just a cycle of enmeshment. and the narcissist taking over your kingdom of heaven. Let Jesus into your heart. Let God into your heart. No. How about no? If you were more powerful, I'd already love you. Loving myself would allow me to love God. Loving this existence, loving being human, not hating every second of it like he wants. And the Bible teaches you to hate this existence, hate this world, hate your body. How dare you love your body without God, you disgusting human? Don't you know I made you from dirt? See, it's just, he's just an abuser. Jesus isn't that much different than him. He wants to use you as a vessel. Why do I need to be used? If you're all powerful, it's a trick. And then he steals your energy. You know, personally, I found that I have energy now. Well, some energy back. After abandoning Jesus, kicking him out of my kingdom of heaven. Because why the fuck was he here? And if he's truly a part of that demiurge or that system, it's not to be trusted regardless. You should be sovereign within your own kingdom or queendom of heaven, period. Anyway, I'm sorry if this was too much. You have a wonderful time. Try not to... Maybe don't read those files. Maybe don't do that. The internet is going to inform you enough. Because, man... anyway, take care. Goodbye.